Welcome to the Core Getting Started collection. In this video, you will learn how to parse a document into Core using the document parser. To open the document parser, click the document parser icon on the toolbar, or click Tools, Document Parser. Let's get started by loading a document. Click the Load Document icon, or File, Load Document. Select your file, then click Open. Notice that the contents of the document have been loaded into the left side of the screen. Below the document, you'll find settings that we'll need to review. The document parser can be used to parse documents into elements of any class. It's most commonly used for requirements, and we'll demonstrate that here. The class is set to requirements by default. If you wish to parse into a folder, you can select that folder here. If you need to create a new folder, use the New Folder icon. For this demonstration, I'll leave the setting as is. Next, we need to select a document element. This allows the parser to create relationships between the parsed elements and their source document to ensure traceability. Click the Select button to open the Select Document dialog. Select the document element appropriate for the document you are parsing. If you don't have that element yet, click New, enter the name, then click OK. Click OK one more time to commit this change. The prefix field sets a prefix for names of all elements created during the parsing process. I'll leave that blank for now. Where the source document aligns well with hierarchical numbering rules, Core will interpret paragraph numbers to build a complete hierarchy that corresponds to the document hierarchy. Where this is not the case, enabling the Ignore Document Numbering option will auto-parse the document without generating any implied hierarchical structure. Parent-child relationships will be generated between sentences and their enclosing paragraph, but no other parent-child relationships will be created. You can then easily establish the desired hierarchical requirement structure after the elements have been created in the database. The collection of words the parser will key on to separate requirements from other content are specified in the Keywords field. The generally accepted set is shall, will, and must. Note that if no keywords are specified, the user will be prompted for confirmation before the document is parsed. If the user chooses to proceed, all content will be identified as elements rather than debris. Once you have specified the settings, click the Parse Document button, or Parser, Parse Document. On the right, you will see temporary results in a table view. This table view is fully editable, allowing you to review and change the definitions before the content is entered into the database. The number, name, description, paragraph number, paragraph title, and refines relationships are each created per the document parsing rules. The individual attributes, along with the requirement type, can be edited directly in the table before the elements are created. This table provides many options for sorting and editing your data prior to committing the elements to your repository. The first column on the left indicates with a check mark whether or not this object is a requirement. Objects are flagged as requirements if they include one of the specified keywords. You should review these to be sure you are satisfied with the results. Analysis of this column may reveal that you need to add a keyword to the list on the left side. It's important to check this because the parser will only create relationships when an element contains keywords. If you edit the keywords, make sure you run the parser a second time. Individual rows can be deleted by selecting the row header and right-clicking to select the Delete Elements command. You can sort the table by a column by double-clicking the column header. Because these objects have not yet been created, it is not possible to relate them to one another beyond what the parser does for you. Therefore, while the table view is extremely valuable for reviewing and adjusting parsing results in the context of the source document, heavy-duty analytical work, requirements allocation, and restructuring should be done after the elements are created in Core. After the document has been auto-parsed and the results manipulated as desired, you have two options available for entering the results into the database. The Create All Elements command creates core elements for every parsed row, regardless of whether or not the row is marked as a requirement. In general, it is better to create debris now and clean it up than to regret the loss later. Using the proper set of keywords will help flag and name content appropriately. Upon further review, you can assess whether debris is truly information that can be discarded, or if it contains a poorly stated or implied requirement. The Create Requirements command creates core elements for all rows marked as requirements. The other rows are treated as non-requirement content and discarded. I'll select Create All Elements. Now that I have completed parsing, I can close the document parser, and you'll see my document element which has a relationship to the top-level requirements found within it. Also notice my requirement class. There, you'll find all of the content from the document, decomposed into elements and ready for my analysis. This concludes the walkthrough of the document parser. To learn more about using Core, go back to our screencast page and view the rest of the Getting Started collection.